Good morning, everyone. I am Coach Kim, and I'm going to be talking today about emotional intelligence. And it's the key to really outstanding leadership. I'm going to be doing a free webinar tomorrow, so I wanted to give just a little peek about what it's going to be about, and I would love for you to register. So let's talk a little bit about why this is important, first of all. For me, what I have learned is that I am quite emotional. And I have had to learn over the last probably 5 years, kind of an intense way that I have to not only understand more about what I'm feeling, but also process it better and not react to them. And the processing piece is really important because I think we have a tendency to squash down our emotions and not process them, which doesn't do any good because they come up later, usually in bad ways. So learning how to process them and feel them and moving on to then making a decision or action, taking an action from there is actually, I guess, the healthiest thing to do and helps us create really the life that we want. So as leaders, and when I say leaders, I mean pretty much anybody and everybody. You don't have to be running a company or even have a leadership position. It's not about position. It's more about kind of how do you want to live your life? How do you want to, what example do you want to set? Whether you're a parent, whether you're an employee, it doesn't really matter. So in regards to leadership, this is a really, really important piece that we'll talk about in a second. But first, if this is important to you or you like this sort of stuff, I would love for if you liked it or hearted it or wowed it. I would love for you to comment. I love comments. That would be helpful. And then at the same time, if you want to share it, please do. That's always great too. Share it on your page, just because this information is really important. And I think it's just such a simple thing that people can start doing to really improve the overall success in their life. All right. So let's touch on a few things. So emotional leadership, again, like I said, is really important just to personal and professional success. So we're going to talk about a few things. What is it? Well, what is it, or what it is that it's the ability to perceive emotions, not only in yourself, but in others, okay? It's also about accessing and generating those emotions to assist your thoughts. So how do these emotions control the thoughts that I have or create the thoughts that I have? Usually we'll have an emotion and then we'll have a thought quickly afterwards. And those can be negative or positive, right? So if we're feeling down, we're going to have down thoughts. If we're feeling up, we probably will have up thoughts. So how do we regulate that and control that and, I guess, understand it better? Understanding emotions and your emotional knowledge. So what are the different emotions? We're going to talk about that. And then reflectively regulate emotions to promote emotional and intellectual growth. So this, again, is where we are managing our emotions and not letting them manage us. So there's 4 areas that we look at. Self-recognition. So can I understand and am I aware of what I'm actually feeling? Self-management then is the management of those emotions and really more the actions that we take from those emotions. Then there's social management. Or social recognition, let's go there. Can I recognize what somebody else is feeling? Do I have empathy? This is a kind of a big topic these days. So can I recognize how somebody else is truly feeling? And if I can, then how do I manage that in a sense of, as a leader, I don't let those things control the situation. I can create better relationships because I can really understand what's going on a deeper level, and I can have those conversations. So those are the 4 pieces that we're looking at when we talk about emotional intelligence. And let's talk about why this is important. So why it's important is because this is interesting to me that there's a study that said EQ is 4 times more powerful than IQ. And we give a lot of attention to IQ in our country. Smart people tend to be the most important people, but really the people with higher EQs are the ones that are more successful overall. Now you have to be smart. I'm not saying you can't be smart, but you can't just be smart. You have to be able to interact with people. I get into this discussion a lot with clients who have very introverted type people working with them and who are really good maybe on computers, but not so great with people. And when we're hiring for someone, we're looking for that person that, yes, they need to be smart at the job and the skill that they're going to do, but they have to be able to interact with people, whether it's on the team, whether it's with you, whether it's with customers. There's lots of different ways. So that's a really important piece. What's also interesting, though, is that the EQ scores among young adults has fallen. IQ scores have jumped. So that's great. We're getting smarter, apparently, in the IQ department. But if our EQ is falling, that's not such a good thing. And I wonder if that has a lot to do with the ways that we're communicating now. I did a live about this last week, but communication just through texting and just through typing things, we're not really fully communicating, and we're not fully understanding where somebody's coming from because we're not hearing, their tone. We're not seeing their facial expressions or their body language. And those pieces are all really important to communication. And then in a worldwide study of what companies were looking for when they're hiring new employees, 67% really want people with high EQ. So 33% of attributes were other competencies. So other things are important, but obviously they're looking for people who can get along with people. So if you're wanting to move up in your company, if you're wanting to start your own company, obviously this is a really, really important piece, is that emotional intelligence. All right, so let me touch on what I'm going to talk about tomorrow in my webinar and more in depth. So we're going to go into the components more of emotional intelligence. So those 4 areas, we're going to talk more specifically about what that looks like. And we're also going to talk about how you can assess your own emotional intelligence level. There are assessments that you can take that are super helpful to help you see, where in these 4 areas you're strong, where you might need to improve. And then we're going to talk about some practices that you can actually do and you can implement that will help you improve these things. It's going to change the way you communicate, your relationships, your sales. If you're a salesperson, this is how you talk better to people, listen to people, and actually help people learn how to buy from you easier, but also leadership. So if any of that sounds interesting, please come to my seminar or my webinar, I guess I'll say, tomorrow. It's at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. And there is a link in the description above. So click on that. It's totally free. Sign up, and I promise it'll be fun. You'll learn a lot. It'll be interactive as well. It's not just going to be me talking to you or at you. So here's your homework. Attend my free webinar tomorrow at 11. But also check out this website. I'm going to see if I can share it. It's called atlasofemotions.org, and it's pretty interesting. What I found, I had a lot of clients, trying to do 2 things. I've had a lot of clients go to this website, and what it really does is it helps you learn more about the different communication words, or emotion words. So if I click into fear here, it gives me all these different words, and then it gives me a short little definition. So the point of this website is it helps you really expand not only your knowledge, but your vocabulary around your emotions. I think we all get stuck in sort of the main ones like anxiety, worry, fear, frustration, stuff like that. We say those things a lot, but this website can really help you broaden those things. So there's 5 main emotions that we talk about. 1, enjoyment is the good one. I'll say, and then the rest: disgust, anger, fear, and sadness, or all the other ones. And so this gives you a level to see. So if I click into anger, I can see all the different words, and then I can identify where I am feeling the most, and it will show me, I'm kind of in the middle right there between least intense and most intense. So check out this website. If you have kids, this is a great way to help them learn how to speak about their emotions as well. Which I think is probably the most important thing about all of this, is that we're learning how to not only say our emotions, speak about them, understand them, but share them and talk about it from there. All right, so join me tomorrow for a free webinar. I'd love to have you. Also, again, please like, comment, share this with your page if you are so entitled. I would love it. I would love more people to come and learn this stuff, because to me, it's super interesting. I don't know, maybe people it's not, but it's really fun to learn about yourself, understand what you can do better, and you're taking control of your life, right? If there are areas that you want to improve, then this is a great way to do it. You're learning things that you can apply immediately and start to improve different areas. I'm also going to talk to you tomorrow about how you can take an assessment that will give you a really cool report that will tell you where you are within all these areas. And you'll learn a lot from that as well. So hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And